Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how our brains are responsible for creating anxiety. We're going to understand the physiological reactions of anxiety, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to manage. By the end of this video, you're going to have enough psychoeducation to kickstart your journey in managing anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is our instinctive response to a perceived threat. Technically, it's our fight or flight hormone. Certain levels of anxiety is great, but too much of it can be debilitating. For our survival as humans, we are primed to respond to dangers or threats. Some people react quicker or more intensely to threatening or dangerous situations, and some just don't. Some people have anxious temperaments. They internalize things or are more reactive. This is an inherited characteristic, part of their personality. Or they may have encountered a stressful or traumatic event that initialized their anxiety. On the other hand, anxiety can be learned. Learning plays a huge role in anxiety. Stemming from your childhood, you may have learnt that the world is a dangerous place. Life teaches you things, we all know that. But what life doesn't teach you is the skill set to manage these emotions positively. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. You might have anxiety. Your friend might have anxiety. Your family member. Somewhere, someone you know has experienced anxiety. Now let me explain what's happening for them or for you. Now, we know anxiety has bodily responses, but what does that mean? A stressful situation presents itself. You're waiting to cross the road and you see a tiger waiting for you on the other side. The brain receives a message about a stressful situation. It sends that message to your adrenal glands. Then the fight or flight hormone is activated. This is adrenaline. Adrenaline is then responsible for your immediate reaction. It focuses your attention and gives you that surge of energy so you can escape the tiger. And the best way to describe this? Your heart starts to pound, your muscles tense up, you find it hard to breathe, and as fast as these just came up, that's how fast your body will react. Now, norepinephrine is a hormone similar to adrenaline, but it comes from your adrenal glands and from your brain. Its primary role is arousal, and it's activated in stressful situations. If anything, norepinephrine is adrenaline's bodyguard, its backup system. Okay, stay with me. Let me introduce to you our third friend, cortisol. Cortisol is a steroid hormone or a stress hormone produced in the body. Unlike her friends norepinephrine and adrenaline, cortisol is a little slower. It takes minutes rather than seconds for it to kick in. Say you're at the beach and you spot a shark. Cortisol will decide that it's not the right time to digest the pizza you just had for lunch. Rather, it will focus the body's energy into balancing out your blood pressure so you can keep it together long enough to get out of there. So now you know the good side of anxiety. It's there to protect us. But now let's explain when anxiety goes wrong. Imagine these three hormones were activated for no real reason. You felt like you were impeding imminent death when you were sitting at a bus stop. That's where anxiety becomes a problem. These are some of the symptoms that we might see. Increased heart rate, sweaty palms, dryness of the mouth, shaking, trouble sleeping, vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, headaches. The list really goes on. Those are signs of anxiety. You may not know when these symptoms will present themselves, but I bet you can think of a time when you felt one or more of those things in a situation. These symptoms are pretty common amongst all anxieties. There are many types of anxiety, and they include generalized anxiety, obsessions and compulsions, social anxiety, work anxiety, health anxiety, phobias, performance anxiety, excessive worry, stress-related anxiety. There's a range of anxieties that go under the anxiety disorder category. Just like there's many types of anxieties, there's many ways of coping with it. Our main focus is to learn how to switch off. Do you want to know how? Firstly, through psychoeducation. The more you know, the better. We know knowledge is power. The more information you know about your anxiety, the more you can normalize it and the more you can understand it. That's the scariest part about anxiety. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening with our mind. We don't know what's happening with our body. We just can't control it. It's so infuriating. I really understand. But if we just understand what's happening physiologically and with our brain, then we can start to understand what actually is happening. I know I can say right in this very moment, so many people are experiencing anxiety. You're honestly not alone. If you speak to 5 people in a day, I can assure you 2 out of 5 of those people have had anxiety. Secondly, mindfulness. Say it with me. Mindfulness. Basically, we want to use relaxation to ease that chronic tension, that hypervigilance, that constant state of alert. Then we want to learn techniques about how to deal with unhelpful worry and manage those feelings of, I don't get it, I don't know what's happening. We can use mindfulness to take us from up here to here, living in the present moment. That's what anxiety is. It's a fear of the unknown. Basically, constant worry and anxiety is taking you away from the here and now. What we want to do is get you to be present. Let's do a grounding activity. I bet the whole time that you've been watching this video, you haven't noticed your breathing. What about your breathing is special? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Are you taking quick breaths or are you holding your breath? What I want you to do is put your hand on your diaphragm. I want you to breathe in. As you breathe in, I want you to feel like there's a balloon deflating. Now, as you breathe out, I want you to feel as though that balloon is filling up all of the space in your diaphragm and all the air is escaping. Feel your hand rise on your diaphragm. Let's repeat that twice. How do you feel? Are you anxious? Did you think about your anxiety for that 2 seconds that you were doing that exercise? Now, imagine you could deal with your anxiety day to day that easily. That's essentially what mindfulness will teach you. Being in the here and now, being present in the moment, not thinking about the past and not predicting the future. Living day to day in the things that surround you, the evidence that you see, the logic that you understand. Those are the things that you need to focus on with anxiety. Sometimes gently reminding ourselves that we need to stop and breathe is the starting point in dealing with anxiety. For more information on mindfulness, relaxation, and anxiety, be sure to speak to your healthcare provider. They can ensure that they see a best fit treatment for your specific anxiety. And I hope that watching this video has really helped you take the rein on your anxiety. Remember, you just need to breathe. Next week, I'm going to be delving a little bit closer into social anxiety, so I hope you join me. I'll see you next week.